Welcome, welcome. This is yet another turn that this channel is taking, by the way. But fear not, caricatures and cartoons will definitely still be a part of this channel, but I'm going to be reading a book that my uncle wrote, sections of the book. The book is called Irish Lace. It's by my uncle, Michael Mele, Reflections by the Heffernan Sisters, and it takes place in Albany, New York. Um, all about the Irish heritage, where our family came from. He went back to Ireland and traced out our family roots and made a whole family tree. So this book mainly revolves around five sisters and a brother, um, but the Heffernan sisters. And it revolves around them and about the decision of one 16-year-old girl, her decision to leave Ireland to come to America. I think it was 1876. I'm not sure. I got to look that up. Or no, somewhere after that. That's when she was born, I think. But we're going to read the intro and we'll be popping back for a few more videos on certain stories that I like from this book that I've selected that are really interesting and funny, like just funny. So let me show you the book. And if you like this, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share the video as well. And leave a comment. Love to hear where you're from. Again, caricatures and cartoons are the main focus of this channel, but this is just a offshoot that for my own personal um, reasons that I want to document this book and my family's history and in digital format. Okay, so let's take a step back here and look at what we're dealing with. Here's the book. And here's me. I am a caricature artist, cartoonist. Occasionally I paint landscapes as well. And one of the characters in this book was an artist as well. She was a painter. Catherine, my Aunt Catherine. She painted landscapes. And I heard my grandfather, Michael Mele Sr., drew cartoons. I heard he drew Popeye and things like that. I love to hear this. So this is the book Irish Lace by my uncle Michael Mele. Nice hardcover book. My copy they gave me, I don't know where it is. It got lost in many moves and stuff like this. So this is my parents' copy, and Michael even signed it. Merry Christmas, Sue and Paul. That's my parents, mom and dad's. Merry Christmas, Sue and Paul. This is so you'll never forget the family of the past. Michael, 1991. So that's when this was written. It's entitled Recollections by the Heffernan Sisters by Michael Mele. Modern photography by my cousin, Gene Tower McKay. And copyright 1991. Interesting blurbs here. And my Uncle Mike said, if you are a Heffernan descendant, linger carefully over these lines, and like a developing photograph, a likeness will emerge, your own. How amazing is that? Can you hear taps playing? We live next to a military institution. And hang on 1 second, because my motion light just went on. Out in the yard, it's nighttime, 10 p.m. I just want to make sure that there's no burglars out there. And there's not. Could have been an animal. Could have been an animal. Live TV. This is a live stream. So the funny thing about this blurb my uncle wrote, this has everything to do with caricature and And like a developing photograph, a likeness will emerge, your own. We don't have photographs that develop anymore. I have since ordered some, and is hi Mercy B. Stay tuned. So my advice to you is sit back, relax. You can watch this or just listen to it. Set your device down, and you may find something interesting about it. I don't know how long I'm going to read this for, but here's the chapters. If I can get it a little closer. Let me tilt it down a little bit. Okay. And we're just going to read a little bit here tonight. Okay. Here we go. And I'm not the greatest reader, but I'll give it a shot. So this is my Uncle Mike talking, and then these are the aunts: Margie, Rose, Florence, Catherine, Babe, who is my grandmother, and Margie. When I asked my mother and her four sisters, this is so funny. This first part is so funny. So you got to understand, this is my grandmother, Babe. Just going to show you some pictures first, so you can. And there's a whole family tree here written too. And I'm in here. We'll get to that, but I just want to give you a picture so you can put some faces to the names. Okay, here's all my aunts and my grandmother. Aunt Rose, that's my grandmother. Mary Mele, she's referred to as Babe in this book, and in life too, Babe, because she's the youngest. Margie, Aunt Florence. I somewhere had a birthday card that she sent me with $5 in it. And this is Aunt Catherine. What is this you are showing us? Well, this is a live stream video, and Mercy B is asking, what are you showing us? This is a book my uncle wrote about my family and my heritage. There's a preface here. I can read this. This is rather long, but I'll summarize, and then we'll get to the intro. This is the story of the Heffernan family as told by my mother and four aunts. I just want to know. Okay. While growing up, the family created many opportunities to get everybody together. I remember several gatherings when we would all be sitting around somewhere around a big table. The talk was sometimes about politics or workday issues. I like it best, though, when the conversation gradually slid into reminiscence. As a kid, I loved the stories about Livingston Avenue. This is Albany, New York. Thanks for the thumbs up, by the way. Hit that thumbs up. And Grandma and all the Irish relatives, Uncle Patsy. We'd hear these stories at Christmas and around Aunt Rose's kitchen table. Aunt Margie always sat with the men: Uncle Bill, Dad, Uncle Ernie, Jack Hooligan. If you're from Albany and you're a boomer, a baby boomer, you may know some of these names in this book. So anyway, let's just skip down a little bit. Summers at Burden Lake. It would happen again, maybe on a corn Sunday as the sun went down. The dishes were done and the big speckled vats for the corn were packed away. The embers from the fire were burning out behind us. The bug candles would come out and onto the picnic tables that Jack built, and the group would pull in closer. It would start spontaneously. Remember the time, ... The stories, the same stories, folklore. We heard them over and over again every year, but each time they seemed fresh. I hung on every word. Each person must have had the Irish knack for weaving a tale because I could see it all happening before me. Interesting. And let me summarize a little more here towards the end. We were all connected to this past and live our lives today based on the choices that were made those many years ago. from a 16-year-old girl's choice to leave her home and family in Ireland to come to America may have had the most impact. I hope the names on these pages will become real for the reader, especially those who will never have known any of us. Michael Mele, August 1991, Jaffrey, New Hampshire. He must have been on vacation doing that somewhere in New Hampshire. All right, this is so funny, this first intro. So this is my Uncle Mike speaking, the author. When I asked my mother and her 4 sisters to talk to me about their lives, they agreed, but questioned, "What do you think anybody would be interested in?" They felt that most of these things they would have to tell were unremarkable. Aunt Margie insisted that she would join us only to make sure that everyone else told the truth. That's so her. Yeah. And I barely remember her, but I remember her being very gruff and very quick and to the point. Aunt Margie. We gathered ceremoniously at Aunt Catherine's summer house in High Oaks at Burton Lake, New York, about 20 miles outside the capital of Albany, New York. It was July 1988, just after the holiday weekend. There had been a storm, making for a blustery day. This was always a beautiful setting, though, on the edge of the water, birch trees bending near the shore. The sky was blue with layers of white and black clouds. Then my uncle says, I'd like to interview you all in 3 separate sessions. So here we go. We'll read a little bit of this, and again, little break from the caricatures. We will return to them, trust me, but this is just something I have to document. And I hope you come along for the ride. Margie says, over how long a period of time? A year? Maybe we can meet back next year on the 4th of July. Margie says, what if some of us aren't with you anymore? Aunt Rose says, that'll be recorded, I would think, wouldn't it? Florence says, if we die? Rose says, yes, it's possible. They were older here, so this was, was definitely on their minds. Everyone had brought a, hi, Squeaky. Squeaky the cat's here. Hello, Squeaky. There's Squeaky. Meandering around. Everyone had brought a brown bag lunch. We sat around the charcoal gray picnic table on the patio. We needed a stone to hold down the napkins. These 5 women now ranged from age 71 to 81 years old. Florence, Catherine, pronounced Cathern, Roselle, Margie, pronounced with a hard G, and Babe. They are remarkably similar women who have remained close over the years. They are also remarkably distinct. In many cases, they are best friends because for them, family ties surpass all else. The Heffernan girls are obviously sisters. All still have bright red hair, except for Rose, though she is mostly white now. My image of her as a brunette still lingers. None is very tall. My mother, Babe, or more formally Mary Agnes, and Margie, are the shortest at 4 feet 10 inches. Though small, all are exceptionally hardy, easily surviving the males of the family. Each of the sisters was married once, but now each is a widow living alone. Catherine's husband, Ernie Facto, was the last of the men to pass away. He was 80 and had lost his eyesight in the end. He and Catherine built this house and the surrounding landscape. They owned the trunk shop on 4th Street in Troy, New York, where for years they sold luggage and novelty items. Theirs is the largest extended family, 16 grandchildren. How long has this book been published? Oh, cool. Thank you. Thank you, Mercy. This was written in 1991. Babe, my grandmother, says, I cried and cried when Catherine got married and left home. I adored her. I was the youngest, and she always took a little time with me. So we're going to skip around. I just want to go to one story, and then we'll end this session. This is a story about the Irish being superstitious. If I can find it. I thought I'd bookmarked the page. Okay. So there was, I don't know if I still have the picture, if I know where the pictures are. The grandmother, my great grandmother, Delia King, had left Ireland to come to America. Okay. Just picture this. There she is here. 1905. Delia King and Cornelius Heffernan. Okay. And my grandfather was a World War II vet, had 2 Silver Stars as well. Here's Delia King, who left Ireland. And there's Connie, there's my grandmother, Margie, Connie Jr., Rose, my grandmother, and my grandfather. And this is my grandfather in World War II and my grandmother winking at him in the photograph. So to put that into perspective, look at that picture. That's classic. Speaks for, I can't even say anything. That's unbelievable right there. So we'll wrap up with this story about the Irish being superstitious. And so Delia was their mother. Okay. Uncle Mike says in the interview, was your mother superstitious? Rose says, yes, all the Irish are superstitious, I think. Florence says, make sure you clean the kitchen before you go to bed because the angels will be here. Rose says, oh yeah, the angels would come during the night. Catherine says, I still believe in that. Babe says, the angels won't come to a dirty house. Catherine says, don't you pick up every night? Babe says, oh, I do it, of course. Rose says, sometimes I'll leave glasses or cups if I have a cup of tea. Catherine says, oh, I pick up the papers, fix the pillows on the couch, yada, yada, yada. So that was just an interesting little thing about the angels coming at night. Has anybody heard of that? Type it in the comments. That is an interesting thing. Yeah. I caught story time. Yes, this is story time. So that's how I wanted to finish this section with the angels coming at night. So you better have a clean house because the Irish, we are superstitious. And we'll pick up again whenever I feel the time is right or I have the time about Irish lace. And we'll definitely be doing some caricatures as well. Cartooning and caricatures. Let me flip you around here. Thank you for putting up with my randomness on the Cartoon Mart channel. Michelle, my grandmother was from Ireland. Oh, cool. I guess I need, Mercy B says, I guess I need to clean up so I can have the angels here. Yes, you do, Mercy. Yes, you do. And I believe my great grandmother, Delia, their mother, was also somewhat of a palm reader. She would do something with palm reading or something like that. And she also played a machine, a concertina, that thing you kind of push together with air while she was traveling over on the boat. So, yeah. Hey, Mark, what's up? Captain Kangaroo? No, if you don't know who Captain Spaulding is, I'm sorry, I can't help you. If you know about Captain Spaulding's fried chicken and gasoline, come on. House of a Thousand Corpses, Rob Zombie, you know. And if you don't know, you need to go look up the best actor that ever lived, Sid Haig. That is the quick introduction of Irish lace. We'll do more next time. From Albany, New York. Recollections by the Heffernan sisters, just putting it into digital form permanently, because I think that's important. We'll see you next time. Love all you guys. Remember, the world needs you.